Back when I was an intermediate player, I was stuck in all the usual traps, chained to one pentatonic box, clueless about soloing in different keys, and completely lost when it came to outlining chord changes in my solos. And for years, every teacher, book, magazine, and DVD told me the solution was to learn all 7 modes of the major scale. But the truth is, the way modes are usually taught is one of the biggest time wasters in guitar education. I spent countless hours memorizing shapes that did nothing to make my solos sound better. And here's what I eventually learned. If your main influences, like mine, are classic rock, country, and blues players, then only 4 modes actually matter: Ionian, Dorian, Aeolian, and Mixolydian. The other 3, Phrygian, Lydian, Locrian, they are irrelevant for these styles and should be cut from your practice routine immediately. I've been playing guitar for 20 years. I work as a gigging guitar player here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've spent close to a decade teaching thousands of students online. Looking back on the various plateaus and breakthroughs I've had, the biggest leap forward came when I stopped wasting time practicing things that I would never actually use in my playing, like all 7 modes of the major scale. So with that said, let's look at each of the 4 major scale modes that I think you should focus on exclusively in your practice: Ionian, Dorian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian. Why Ionian? Well, Ionian is the modal name for the major scale, and it's where all the modes are derived from. I mean, the hint is in the name, right? Modes of the major scale. Now, the major scale, Ionian, is the foundation for almost everything in Western music theory. It's like a measuring stick that we use to explain notes, chords, and progressions. And since countless rock, pop, and country songs are written in major keys, you'll run into it all the time. If you're into players like Andy Timmons, Matteo Susato, or John Mayer, you'll hear them play solos over common major progressions like the 1-5-6-4 progression. 1-5-6-4 meaning a progression that uses chords 1, 5, 6, and 4 from the major scale. In A major, this would give you the chords A major, E major, F sharp minor, and D major. Here's an example of an Ionian solo over that major progression. Next, I want to talk about the Aeolian mode, also known as the natural minor scale. Its scale formula is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Aeolian is the go-to 7-note scale when it comes to soloing in minor keys, and one of the most common chord progressions you'll hear in blues guitar playing is the 12-bar minor blues, which has 1, 4, and 5 chords that are all minor chords, right? They're all built naturally from the Aeolian mode, aka the natural minor scale. For example, a minor blues in A minor would use the chords A minor 7, D minor 7, and E minor 7. There isn't a note in the Aeolian mode that isn't found naturally in any of those chords, so it is a perfect fit. Now, musically, Aeolian is everywhere in blues, rock, country, and pop music. You hear it in a lot of ballads like Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. Now, here's a solo example in A Aeolian over the minor blues chord progression. Now let's talk about the Dorian mode, the second mode of the major scale. Its formula is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Musically, you'll hear this sound all over rock, blues, and Latin music. Carlos Santana is probably the most famous Dorian player. Just listen to the Santana instrumental Soul Sacrifice if you want to hear a masterclass in Dorian soloing. The classic Dorian chord progression is a minor 1 chord to a dominant 7th 4 chord. In this case, A minor 7 to D7. Now, the natural 6th in A Dorian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is the key ingredient that gives Dorian its distinct funky flavor. Unlike the Aeolian mode, which has a flat 6, Dorian's natural 6th brightens the sound and makes it more applicable to different types of chord progressions like the one I just described. So check out this Dorian solo that's played over those chords. And lastly, let's look at the Mixolydian mode, probably the most important one for classic rock and country players, southern rock players as well, actually. Its formula is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Now the flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is what gives Mixolydian its trademark sound. You'll hear Mixolydian all over country, blues rock, and southern rock, like I just said. Think of the Allman Brothers, Lynyrd Skynyrd, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Brad Paisley. They all use Mixolydian all the time, whether they realize it or not. One of the most common chord progressions where Mixolydian fits perfectly is built around the 1 chord as a major chord and the flat 7 chord also as a major chord. That basically means 2 major chords a tone apart. I mean, for example, there's countless classic rock and hard rock songs that use progressions with a 1 major chord and a flat 7 major chord, although these can often be played as plain power chords, for example. So here's a solo example using A Mixolydian over the chord progression A, G, and D. A is the 1 chord, G is the flat 7 chord, and D is the 4 chord, and they are all built from the notes of A Mixolydian.